Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys and assembled company, welcome to the World Storytelling Cafe. And tonight we have a special Christmas and seasonal offering for you. We have Christmas poems for children from the amazing, the wonderful Clare Bevan. So please, could you put your hands together and welcome into the cafe, Clare.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Poetry Cafe and the Family Tent. My name is Clare Bevan and these poems are mainly for children, but I hope your grown-ups will enjoy them as well. So we're going to start with, well, a Christmassy story really. It's called The Singers of Bethlehem and it's the very first Christmas. So it goes like this. The father sang of journeys, the donkey sang of sleep, the shepherd sang of fearful dreams of lamb's wool, warm and deep. The pigeon sang of darkness, the field mouse sang of light, the oxen sang of comfort, moo, in the hollows of the night. The tomcat sang of strangers, the women sang of birth, the angels sang of miracles, of joy for all the earth. The wise men sang of wonders that gleamed amongst the straw, but Mary sang of one dear child to love for evermore. And I bet your mums felt the same about you. Now, this year I know school isn't quite as much fun as usual and quite a lot of our local schools aren't going to do a big concert or a big play this year, but never mind, it'll all come back next year. And this one, well, she's rather a sad person, or it might be a boy, I don't know. I think it's a girl, and it says, I really would like to be Mary. Oh, she's going to get left out again. I really would like to be Mary, the very best part in the play. I could sit with the crib and my baby, centre stage with nothing to say. I wouldn't mind being an angel with wings and a halo that shines. I could stand at the back looking holy and memorise everyone's lines. I wouldn't mind being a snowflake with a doily pinned over my hair, or a page boy with myrrh on a cushion and a tea-cosy turban to wear. I wouldn't mind being a robin with a patch of red stuck to my chest, or a camel wrapped up in a blanket with a bulge in the back of my vest. I wouldn't mind being narrator, provided the words weren't too long, or the person who crashes the cymbals when we come to the end of the song. I wouldn't mind selling the programmes. No, any old part would suit me. But can anyone answer my question? Why is it I'm always a tree? Oh, does that happen to some of you? Oh dear. I think it probably happened to me. Now I've got two more little bits from the story that you might have done. And the next one, well, this person doesn't seem to be very happy with his part either. He's called Herod. Herod's a big bully. He's a horrible, horrible king. Nobody wants to be Herod. And this one doesn't either. I didn't want to be Herod. I thought the parents would boo. I thought the other children would start to hate me too. I thought my friends would vanish and leave me well alone. I thought I'd spend my playtimes in corners on my own. So, when the kings came calling and pointed at the star, I said, I know that stable, it isn't very far. The hall went strangely silent as I led them past the cattle. I bowed my knee to Mary and I handed her a rattle. Well, of course, my poor old henchmen, well, they couldn't wield their knives, but that's a tiny price to pay for saving babies' lives. I thought perhaps our teacher would shout and yell and scold, but all she did was blow her nose. Perhaps she's got a cold. And when we sang our carol to end our Christmas play, I think the parents liked me. Well, mine did anyway. So we've got happier Herod now, and the henchmen didn't use their knives, so that was good. And this one is a total disaster. It's called the Christmas Dove, and if you're the Christmas dove, you're the dove of peace and everything's lovely. So, well, here we go. Good luck. I am the dove with my white paper wings. I flutter and twirl while the angel band sings. But first they're too fast and then they puff and they blow till I'm not in the place where the dove's meant to go. So I flap round the manger to reach the right spot, but I bump into Joseph, who grumbles a lot. He gives me a shove, which is not very holy. I twitter, I wobble, I tumble quite slowly and land on the camel, who's wobbling too. I've unstuck her hump, which took ages to glue. She's out for revenge, so she bashes a wing, and that's when I crash into Herod, the king. He pings the elastic attached to my beak, and I let out a squawk, and the mice sadly squeak, eek. The message of Christmas is brought by our dove. We wish you a season of peace and of love. Oh, it all went wrong. But I bet when the mums and dads got home, they laughed about that one. Right, now we've got to go home, haven't we? And one of the first things everybody would like to have is a Christmas tree. And, well, I've got a rather naughty cat just sitting behind me here, so I think he's a star of this poem. It's only a little one. It's called The Christmas Tree Cat. And we used to have a cat called Moriarty, and he loved going up the Christmas tree. So this is for Moriarty. The cat up the tree is confused as can be by tinsel that traps the unwary. Then the pot starts to sway in a worrying way till her yowls are incredibly scary. Our star has been scragged and the branches have sagged and the lovely glass baubles are hairy, while the light bulbs go pop and she clings to the top, but at least it's a change from the fairy. I don't know what happened to the fairy. I think she fell off. Oh dear. Right, well now, some people really love to sing Christmas carols. And, well, certainly when I was small, we liked to do going Christmas carolling because sometimes people put money in your pot. And usually it was for a charity, so it was a good idea. I don't know about these children, but we'll give it a go. It's called Christmas Carol, and it goes to the tune of Good King Wenceslas, which I expect you know. Good King Wenceslas walked out on the... Right, here we go. Good King Wenceslas, pom-tee-pom, both my feet are freezing. Michael's got an awful cold, I can hear him wheezing. Brightly shone the dum-dee-dum, Mo and Joe are fighting. No one seems to know the words, and the wind is biting. Hear the page and da-dee-da, wish I had a vest on, wish I'd brought a blow-up bed I could take a rest on. So he gives a rum-tee-tee. I can smell the chip shop, Gary's singing out of tune. Someone pass a cough drop. Bring me flesh and la-dee-da, this is where my friend lives. Sing the next verse twice as loud, let's see what his mum gives. Page and monarch, fee-fi-fum, now my nose is runny. Never mind, it's time to stop, let's share out the money. I don't think he really got the spirit of Christmas there, did he? But probably enjoyed it anyway. And the next thing to happen is people start posting cards. And obviously you have to do a few too, but hey, the best bit is when the postman arrives. Poor old postman. We look out of our window and usually they've still got their shorts on, even when it's cold. So here we go. Poor old postman. Poor old postman in the snow, Christmas chilblains on each toe. Chilblains are very itchy. Poor old postman in the rain, Christmas backache, ooh, what a pain. Poor old postman in our street, Christmas blisters on his feet. Poor old postman, there he goes, Christmas hanky at his nose. Poor old postman, is it fair? Christmas twinges everywhere. Christmas elbow, Christmas knee, just to bring some cards to me. I hope you get a nice lot of Christmas cards. I like the ones that can pop up, don't you? And I'm afraid quite a lot of children prefer the one where a £5 note comes out. Perhaps you do too. Now, the postman delivered those, but this one has to go by special post because it's a letter to Father Christmas, but it's gone a little bit wrong. It's called Christmas Calamity, and a calamity is a terrible disaster. Oh dear. And this one, I'm pretty sure, is a boy. So I'll be a boy now. I'm all in a state. My life's in a mess. I forgot to give Santa my name and address. Oh, I wrote him a note. Up the chimney it flew. Away went my list, and my hopes vanished too. I'd asked for a bike and a kite and a train, but Rudolph won't land on my rooftop again. So children in China will play with my treats. Someone from France will be eating my sweets. An African boy will unwrap my warm coat, and a child in the desert will stare at my boat. A boy in Brazil will find England's new kit, and a small Spanish girl will get gloves that don't fit. A prince will discover my pants in a box. A poor boy will smile at my boring blue socks. A penguin on ice will have t-shirts to wear, and a creature from Venus will cuddle my bear. But as for myself, I'll have nothing at all, not even a book or a bat or a ball, not one single present to keep for my own. Hey, I'm off to send Santa a text on the phone. I hope he got his presents, don't you? I don't know about that character in Venus. Now this one, it's slightly serious. A And I think some of the things that these children would really like, you would like too. It's called the Christmas box. And every year, when my son was small, we would go to the shoe shop and ask for a shoe box. And inside it, we would put little presents for somebody who was very poor and didn't have a mum and dad in a very poor country. And we like doing that. So this is called the Christmas box. We're filling up a shoe box for an orphan far away. So we've bought a pile of presents just for him for Christmas Day. And I want stacks of gadgets and a set of full-size drums and a game for my computer just for me when Christmas comes. We've packed inside the shoebox a flannel and some soap and a toothbrush plus some toothpaste, which should cheer him up, I hope. And I want robot creatures and a massive radio and a sledge that's painted silver for our races in the snow. We've also put a pencil and a ruler in the box, and I'm sure he'll be excited when he sees his brand new socks. And I want flashy trainers and a bicycle with style and books and sweets and puzzles and some cash to make me smile. There's a yo-yo and a lolly and a little plastic ball and a car I used to play with. And it isn't much at all. And now I want to tell him that I'm sorry life's unfair, and I hope his day is happy, and I hope he knows I care. That's quite nice really, isn't it? I think that boy who told the story was going to be very kind, really. So that had quite a happy ending. This is terribly sad. This is even worse than the Calamity. It's all about a penguin. Have you ever looked at a penguin very carefully? And you'll notice he's got quite big feet, but not much in the way of legs, is it? And if you've got very little legs, oh my goodness, you're never going to have a great big stocking hanging up on the wall. And oh dear. So I've got a little sound effect, and this is the sad little noise that a penguin will make. Oh, it's very sad. So here we go, we'll try and cheer you up. It's called Penguin Poem. Oh, pity the penguin. Now Christmas is here. His day is the same as the rest of the year. There isn't a tree, and there's nowhere to go for parties and crackers and just snow and more snow. And inside his stocking there aren't many treats, just boring old fishes and fish-flavoured sweets. And the stocking itself is so terribly small, there isn't much room for a book or a ball or a cuddly toy or some nice cosy slippers, which simply aren't made to fit penguin-sized flippers. So he sits on an iceberg with frost on each leg, and he longs for a cushion instead of an egg. And his sad penguin eye drips a sad penguin tear. Oh, pity the penguin, now Christmas is here. Oh, he'd better make his little sad noise again. Oh dear, never mind. I'm sure they're very nice presents. And he does like fish. Now we're getting on to what we really, really want for Christmas. Nearly everybody, children, you all want for Christmas. So first of all, we've got to have a visit from the reindeer, and then with a bit of luck, we're going to get some snow. So here we are. This one's called the Reindeer Rap. I've got a lovely reindeer here. Here he is. He's come to say hello to you, and I think he will try to do the rap. So here we go. Right, you ready? The Reindeer Rap. Yep, we've got to go quite fast. Are you fast enough? Hope so. Right, here we go. Right, Reindeer Rap. We're a groovy team with a hot hoof band, with our jingle bells for a magic land. When we pull that sleigh, when we go man go, when we bring FC, that's Father Christmas, with his ho ho ho. When we get on down to your sleepy street, when we rock your roof to a hip hop beat, when we stomp away through the starry sky, you can make a wish as we boogie by. You can shake your hands, you can stamp your toe, you can strut your stuff in the cool Yule snow. You can shout and cheer, set the whole world clapping. We're the Reindeer Band and we're Christmas rapping. We did that all right, didn't we? Well done. I really like my reindeer. Now, snowmen. And I've got a sort of, here we are, we've got a sort of snowman here. There are things that a snowman definitely has to have. He has to have a jolly good scarf, a great big carrot nose, and of course, a hat of some description. You've got a bobble hat, you look very happy. So, right, here we go. And this is all about Snowman School. I bet you didn't know they had a Snowman School, but everybody needs to rehearse these things. Snowman School. In a frosty land by a frosty pool, what do snowmen learn at school? How to grow quite fast and fat, how to wear a bobble hat, how to stand in just one place with a carrot on your face, how to wave your twiggy hands when a friendly robin comes and lands, how to guard the garden gate, how to daydream, how to wait, how to smile all day and night, how to give the fox a fright. Later, when the shadows creep, when your humans fall asleep, how to float above the ground, flap your scarf and fly around, how to sing an icy tune, how to circle past the moon, how to watch with wonky eyes reindeer skimming through the skies, how to scare the big bad cat when you land beside him, splat. Then one warm and sunny day, how to melt and drift away, how to leave without one tear, knowing you'll be back next year. So, that's what snowmen learn at school, how to be completely cool. I think snowmen are generally cool, aren't they? Right, now let me see. You've got a bit of an argument here because, now if there's any girls out there and mums or aunties or grannies, I mean, what's going on? Why is it always snowmen? For goodness sake. So this one is called Snow Joke. Why does it have to be snowmen? Why is it never snow girls? Why can't we build a snow princess with berries for rubies and pearls? Why can't we pick her some holly to give her a spiky green crown? What about icicle diamonds to wear on her glittering gown? What about crowds of snow ladies with twiggy and twizzly hair? They could stand on our lawn looking grumpy with placards that says, "It's not fair." Then we'll give them a huge heap of snowballs to throw at the snowmen for fun. And maybe when everyone's laughing, our snow girls will chorus, "We've won! Hooray!" Have a think about that, can't you? Now I've got first of all, I have got Father Christmas having a big think, because since he has to fly all around the world, I'm sure sometimes he'll be flying over all sorts of other countries, or maybe just over the zoo. So this one is called The Zoo Creatures Christmas. And I'm going to do a little stop in the middle each time, just to give you a chance to see if you can guess what the next thing will be. So I think you'll get the hang of it. So, The Zoo Creatures Christmas. When Santa reached the city zoo, he knew exactly what to do. He sorted through his sack and sleigh and left some treats for Christmas Day. Ginger socks for the desert fox, colourful ties for the butterflies, soft grey gloves for the turtle doves, furry bloomers for chilly pumas, big brassieres for the grizzly bears, slinky frocks for the lady crocs, enormous shoes for the kangaroos, tiny pants for the soldier ants, royal dresses for the lionesses, velvet cakes for elegant apes, small red hats for the vampire bats, petticoats for the nanny goats, an extra long scarf for the old giraffe, slim black hose for the carrion crows. Arr, arr, I've got some of those in our garden. Toppers and tails for the snooty snails, comfy slippers for sea lion flippers, and warm pyjamas for the sleepy llamas. So, did the creatures cheer and purr? And were they pleased? Yeah, of course they were. And now, this is one that's really and truly about Father Christmas, and it's my favourite one. So I've got some little things over here, and we've really got to have a jingle because Santa's coming along, but he's got a little problem. Now, I don't know whether one of his deer has retired or just had a bad cold, but if he hasn't got enough reindeer to pull the sleigh, well, obviously he's got to go for help. And old Santa likes to go to a rescue home. We've got one near us that has cats and dogs and all sorts of things, and many animals that you would not expect, from rats and chickens to, well, something unusual. So this is called Santa to the Rescue. And it goes like this. Old Santa is a kindly soul, so when his deer retire, he nips off to the rescue home to see what he can hire. This year, he hit a problem. The woman shook her head. "Oh, no reindeer, sir. Oh, I'm sorry. But would a rabbit do instead? Or what about a gerbil? Or a rather charming hen? She's not a distance flyer, but she flutters now and then." Old Santa did his best to hide the panic in his eyes. "I need a creature swift enough to cross the Christmas skies. I need a pet that's strong enough to drag a sleigh," he said. And at that anxious moment, something grunted in the shed. "Oh!" groaned the woman. "Oh, that's Lulu," groaned the woman. "She smells a little bit, and she's rather far too grubby, but she's frisky and she's fit." So Santa paid the rescue fee, which wasn't very big, then introduced his reindeer to their teammate, Lulu Pig. Yes, you. So, if you hear at midnight farmyard noises in the sky, or if you catch the pitter-pat of trotters trotting by, remember Santa's magic, and at Christmas, pigs can fly. Would you like to join in with that very last bit? Yeah? So here you are. It's you, isn't it? Lulu, well done. So here we go. Or if you catch the pitter-pat of trotters trotting by, remember Santa's magic, and at Christmas, pigs can fly. Well done. Hope you like that one. I think it's my favourite. And we're getting a little bit more about Father Christmas. Now this might be for some of you who have very, very kind of a boy who once went to live at a magic school. Yeah, Harry Potter. And when the book first came out, I had to read it, and I thought I ought to pop him in the story. So here we are. It goes like this. You know who. Mrs. Claus cried, Santa, it's almost midnight, look. But Father Christmas had his nose inside a huge, fat book. I thought I ought to read it. His voice was rather gruff. Since every blooming kid this year wants Harry Potter stuff. There's Harry Potter costumes and Harry Potter hats and blooming Harry Potter wands and owls and toads and rats and Harry Potter card games and Lego sets, of course, and Harry Potter's blooming brooms. His voice was growing hoarse. That blooming Harry Potter, he's gone and pinched my tricks. Admittedly, I like to steer a sleigh instead of sticks, but I invented Quidditch, as everybody knows. The reindeer play with snowballs, and the snitch is Rudolph's nose. I'm the one who walks through walls when chimneys can't be found. I'm the one who grants your wish when leaves may go drop with no sound. I'm the one who rides the sky, a rare activity. And I'm the one who's famous for invisibility. So, don't forget this Christmas when the night is dark and bleak, and when you hear a distant tingle, when the floorboards gently creak, when you see the shiny footprint of a large and frosty shoe. It could be Harry Potter, or it could be you know who. It would be nicer to have Santa than the very bad. Right. And this is another little one. We're getting quite near the end. Do you remember when the first lockdown happened? And, well, we were all very good, weren't we? And we stayed indoors, and lots of you made rainbows, which cheered up everybody. And then, of course, we had this wonderful time, and we went out and clapped on our doorsteps, and we all enjoyed that, didn't we? Very much. So this one is called Key Workers, and it's going to have somebody that you know very well in it too. Key Workers. Now, I'm sure you've clapped for heroes. Yay! While the virus romped about, I'm sure you thanked our nurses and our doctors, I've no doubt. Plus, the people who were patient when we sighed and stamped about. But now we must remember other heroes far away. Dear old Rudolph and his reindeer, who must drag a loaded sleigh, and the fairy granting wishes just for us on Christmas Day. Then the gnomes stuck in their workshop, painting train sets one by one, and the elves who pack the parcels when each toy is boxed and done. Oh, and the girls who stuff the crackers so we all have lots of fun. But the most important worker is the keeper of the keys. He can open royal castles, slide down chimney pots with ease. He can sneak through tiny doorways, even though it's quite a squeeze. He can tiptoe past a gateway. He can find a hidden hole where timid creatures shelter with a mouse, a rat, a mole, just to bring them crumbs of comfort with a warm and tasty roll. He can shine his magic keyring at a tower far and high, then zoom to place a present for a child who wonders why her little sock is bulging. It's enough to make me cry. And I'm sure he'll visit you, my dear, when Christmas breezes blow. So don't forget to clap him when you hear his ho, ho, ho. I'm sure that's going to happen for you. Right, we've got a ready, steady, go. This is for when you find your stockings hanging up, and it's a nice quick one, and it's very skinny. So it goes like this. It's called Ready Steady. So imagine that you've got brothers and sisters, and I've still got a brother, so we could still do the race. Ready Steady. Stand by your stockings, whistles blow. Grab those presents, off you go. Here's a toy from Auntie Mo. Here's a game from Cousin Joe. Here's a ball to catch and throw. Here's a plastic buffalo. Here's a sprig of mistletoe. Here's a little flute to blow. Here's a kit to cut and sew. Here's a thing that seems to glow. Here's a dome and full of snow. Here's an orange in the toe. Who's the winner? Don't you know? Everybody, ho, ho, ho. Good. So, right. But also, when I was very small, I can remember being given ever such a lovely doll. And I felt a little bit guilty because I thought my old doll will think I don't want her anymore. And I used to worry about that. So I think the person in here is a bit like me. And it's just called The Night After Christmas. The bedroom shelf is crammed with toys, most of them built to make a noise. Toys with levers, toys with lights, computer games for computer fights, robot armies with whirling blades, plastic soldiers, midnight raids, wind-up puppies that bark and spin, mechanical dolls with teeth that grin, gadgets that endlessly play a tune, all of them gleaming beneath the moon. But all the same, it's dear old Ted with his one loose ear that I'll take to bed. And I think I've got just one or two left. Just one left. And this one is a quick one. And this one, we've had quite a lot of characters, haven't we? We've had snowmen and Rudolph and penguins and pigs and goodness knows what, as well as the teddy bear. But most of it would have loved to go to a big pantomime this year, and I think there are still a few about. And you have to think about all those wonderful characters that turn up, and you have people like Aladdin, and then of course all the people who help Father Christmas, the gnomes and the elves, and all sorts of characters, Rudolph, and there's a fairy at the top of the tree, and right. So this is called the Christmas Grotto Games, and it's the last one, and I'm going to read it as fast as I can, as if I were doing the sports report. Proper game. I wonder who will win. The Christmas Grotto Games, which is enthusiastically reported by me. And they're all lining up for the grand final. Santa's adjusting his new spiky boots, plain back as usual, ideal for steep chimneys. The gnomes are still puffing after a training run with a polar bear. The snowmen are adjusting their noses, no wobbly carrots allowed. And the safety elf is searching the reindeer for go faster spells. Meanwhile, the penguins are warming up with a spot of egg juggling. Rudolph is flashing his nose, which can't be legal. And the grotto elf, wearing soggy green slippers, doesn't have a hope. The last few contestants, come on, are arriving just in time. The fairy's at the top of her twinkly tree. She's waving her wand and they're off. The penguins have fallen at the first fence. The chief snowman has tripped over his own scarf, and the elf, as expected, has limped back to bed. But the gnomes, running in relays, have whizzed round the igloo, overtaken Prancer and Dancer, who probably ate too many mince pies. Here comes the polar bear looking dangerous. He's crossing the glacier in record time, and he's only just behind Rudolph, who is simply flying along. It's neck and antler. Only old Santa can overtake them now. now they've reached the last obstacle, a rather tempting stocking entirely filled with sweets. The gnomes can't resist. Rudolph and Santa are chewing the toffees, and the bear is chewing a chocolate mouse. But wait, who is this? Clopping past the pack and clanging her bell. Can it be? Yes, it's Daisy the pantomime cow, winning Santa's sack of super surprises. And that, oh, my friends, is what I call an utterly happy ending. I hope your rest of the year will also have a wonderful, happy ending. Happy Christmas to all of you. Thank you for listening.
Weren't those poems wonderful? Now, if you really want to show a little appreciation, and Clare, like all of us, loves a little present, well, you could pop something into Clare's hat just to wish her a Merry Christmas.